Alex Anderson. I drift a C6 Corvette.
So what have you done to it so far?
Basically stock. It has modified steering knuckles. So it's just a GM factory knuckle where they machined off the tie rod pickup and drilled a new pickup closer to the knuckle, so a shorter arm gives you more steering for the same rack travel. And then it has a racing seat, because that stock leather seat, you're sliding around as you're trying to drive. You can't even keep your feet on the pedals. It's impossible to drive. And then it has a hydraulic handbrake. So right there, it just goes in line with the rear brake lines. So no dual caliper or anything, super simple. Just interrupt that line. It's a one-way valve master, and that's it.
How much do you like this compared to your S13?
I love it. Like, the thing with the S13 is obviously so much work goes into it to get it to a certain point. Motor swaps, all the suspension needs to be changed because the geometry is terrible from the factory. And then the drivetrain's not that great, right? And then you put all this work into it, and then still when I go to competitions, I was like having to get super crazy to find grip and find like forward bite. Running like crazy toe ins, you know, aftermarket suspension. This is literally stock suspension. And it is faster in drift than the 240 was after all that work.
Are we gonna be seeing this car in Pro-Am?
That's the plan, yeah. So, a couple more months of getting comfortable and all that, and then it'll get a full cage and ready for Pro-Am for 2020.
Now, you know I'm building a 2004 Ford Mustang V6. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a great choice. I mean, how much horse do they make? Like 220,
155 is what I did, dyno stock to the wheels.
Oh, that's less than I thought. Honestly,
with 210 to 250 pounds of torque.
That's okay.
On a fourth gear pull.
That's fine. That's the thing, dude, is like starting out just having a decent chassis and something that has okay suspension and is gonna drive and has good parts availability. You don't need a bunch of power, especially learning. It'll actually do you a service to start with something that's lower powered first.
Now, where can people find you at? If they want to follow your car, follow you?
Instagram is the biggest. I do Facebook too, but it'd be at the Anderson Drift Project, all one word. It's super long. My fiance always tells me I need to change it to something shorter, but I'm holding out.
What do you have to say about that?
It's perfect. It's fine,
Oh,
babe.
it's fine. It's fine. The camera comes out, the story changes.
How do you feel about him drifting?
I love it. I love seeing the smile it puts on his face. I love being out there with him. I love spending time in the garage with him. It's not just when we're out on the track. It's a lifestyle all the time. And the people that we're around, this community, it's just, we're very fortunate to have these people in our lives.
So are you his spotter as well, or you just coach?
I've been a spotter before. I'm not good at it. He needs someone who can actually tell him what he needs to do, where he needs to be at. I've got some room to grow there. I'll always be cheering him on though.
Now, when are we going to see you driving a drift car?
After I learn stick.
You don't need stick.
Whenever she wants. I don't know if that's. I think you seem or have expressed me to be happy with just helping out. But yeah, if she changes her mind, then absolutely we'll do that.
Maybe one day.
What got you into drifting?
I actually really didn't care for cars or know anything about it, and when I was younger, like, I started playing Forza. Like, a buddy of mine bought Forza and I started playing that, so that started kind of getting me into cars and racing. And then I bought, like, what was the game? Grid. Back
Grid
in the
was
day,
a good
like,
game.
Xbox
I loved that.
360 or whatever it was, and they had drifting in that game. So that's where I first heard about it, because I had no idea it existed. And then from there, you know, Google search it, look it up, find Formula Drift, start watching that stuff, and then I decided I was going to go drifting, and so I sold a bunch of stuff and bought my first 240 for $1,000, and that was that. I would go on Craigslist and buy like stock sets of S13 rims with used tires on them. You could get them for like $100, and then I go drift on those for a couple events, and then I'd sell the empty rims back on Craigslist and get like 60, 80 bucks back.
And buy another set?
And buy another set of used stockers. So that's like when I first started out. Because when you first start out, like, you're not even full throttle most of the time. Nope. Like, literally you'll go through a used set of tires that could get like 3 or 4 events out of it when you're first learning. So it was very cost effective to start, and then, you know, as you progress and get better and want more power, and it just snowballs from there. And then once you start competing, that's when all bets are off.
What do you have to say for words of advice for new drifters coming out?
Cheap and easy. Pick a platform that's sustainable for you, that isn't gonna overextend yourself, right? I see way too many guys decide that, cool, I want to go in Pro-Am, or I want to be a Formula Drift champion. How am I going to do that? I'm going to build this Pro 2 spec car from the start without ever having driven, or maybe I've driven for a couple months, and then you watch them spend 3 years not driving, building, putting all this time and effort into it. And the problem is, like, they don't necessarily have the experience, right, to know what parts to pick or how to set it up. And so then you like put all this money and time into this car, and it's like super race car, super hard to run. Oh, it needs E85, and oh, you gotta, you know, mess with the laptop and tuning it and all this BS, and it's got way too much grip, and it's really hard to drive for a beginning driver. And then they go out there and they have a really bad time when they're done with it, and they get super disillusioned. It's like, dude, I did all this work, I spent all this money, I come out here, I suck, I can't get a hang of it because the car's too extreme. So start simple.
right, today I'm with the one and only
Andrew Schulte.
How are you doing today, man?
Doing good. Like I said, Andrew Schulte. I drive this 240SX S13 hatch, powered by a Langenfelter LS7 under the hood. We run this car in Formula Drift. This is my first season in Formula Drift Pro 2. So we've spent the most part of this year already driving all over the country and following the Formula Drift circuit and doing grid life events up in Michigan. But now the season's winding down. It's wintertime here in Phoenix, so we're at Import Face Off today, which is a nice local event. And I gotta be honest, like I'm just happy and relieved to just be chilling at home instead of traveling all over the country with this car. So I'm having a good time.
Are you originally from Phoenix?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Trick question. No, I moved to Phoenix in 2010. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, really?
I moved here to go to Universal Technical Institute right after high school. And then when I finished school, I found a job at the Nissan Proving Grounds just south of here, and that kept me here. I've been here ever since, so coming up on a decade now.
What part of Cleveland?
Lakewood specifically, which is like the first western suburb right outside Phoenix, Cleveland proper.
I lived in Mayfield.
No
for
shit,
a little
dude.
bit, yeah. For about a year.
Are we rivals, or is that Solon?
I don't remember.
Either way, Cleveland. Hell yeah, dude.
So I was out there for about a year. I'm currently building a 2004 Ford Mustang V6. How do you feel about that?
Whatever gets you on the track, really. I mean, if you're just starting out and trying to go drifting, whatever gets you out there. If it's rear-wheel drive, and it's like a decently popular car. By that I mean like a lot are sold and there's like support for them parts-wise. Just run whatever you can get your hands on to get on the track. That's my recipe for it anyway.
What advice do you have for future drifters?
Baby steps. Start small, just have fun, enjoy it. You know, like I said, whatever gets you on the track, just focus on that. See time. You don't have to build like a super pro level baller car right out of the gate and then go try to learn how to drift with it. Get your car, get on track, and then as your skills progress slowly, just from getting seat time, just build the car with your skills. And just remember that the first priority in your head should be fun, seat time, driving the car and enjoying drifting. That's the biggest thing, I think. Don't get ahead of yourself.
So are you going to be out in Pro 2 next year, or are you trying to go for Pro 1 still?
I haven't officially announced this yet. I can't. It's up in the air right now. There's a strong possibility we won't run the Formula Drift circuit again. It was mainly a bucket list item for me, and we wanted to say that we did it and make a full pull at it and like, you know, check it off the list, so to speak. And with, how do I word this? Like where I want to be in drifting, I found myself, I'm getting more enjoyment out of being in the car from exhibition events like the Grid Life and the LS Fest events and stuff like Import Face Off here. More enjoyment out of that than I do from the structured competition side, which like a lot of people, they're competitors and that's great. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just personally, I think, better suited for less pressure, more showmanship, more just showy drifting. So we're not sure if we're going to go back to Formula Drift or just do a full season of like the Grid Life events and exhibition stuff like that.
Will you be at Desert Mayhem in December?
Yeah, absolutely. I won't miss that event at all.
Alrighty. I'll be out there. I'll be filming again. Do you have anything else you'd like to say? Where can people find you at on social media? My main platform is Instagram. I use it's Schulte_216 here in the window. You can like screenshot that or whatever. You can also find me on Facebook, Andrew Schulte. I just have a regular Facebook though, so like they limit your friends at 5,000. I'm creeping up on that limit, but you can, you know, friend me on there. I accept every friend request. All my posts are public anyway, so.
Austin Kriegel.
How are you doing today, man?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
What'd you bring out today?
I got my 95 Nissan 240SX with us today.
Hey, you want to sell some tea?
What got you into drifting?
I saw some videos when I was a young kid and stuff and thought it was really cool. Wanted to try to do it myself, so I bought a 240 just like this and learned how to drive them on my own.
What advice do you have for future drifters?
Just get some inexpensive and just do some very minor modifications like weld the diff, a seat, some coilovers, some G tires, and just go have fun. Like the best part is just getting seat time and just getting some experience, having some fun, and just trying to keep it on a budget.
I'm building a 2004 Ford Mustang V6 with the 3.8 liter.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's something different. It's pretty cool. So I'm curious to see what it can do on the track. What year is it again, you said?
2004.
Okay. Yeah, so it's I think it still has a solid axle on the back, right?
SN95.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's still people that do it, so I think it'd be a good platform to start with, and plus, you know, it's something different, so it'll get more attention too. It's something different than the 240SX, you know. So.
Now you're a Pro-Am driver, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Are you planning to transition into Pro 2?
That would be the idea, yeah. So this past year I got 6th place overall with one of the Pro 2 shootouts. So if I get 3rd place or better, I'll get my license, and then that's the idea, is to go up to Pro 2, which of course the sponsors and funds can accept that, because it's a big jump in financial going from Pro into Pro 2. So
Now, will you be at Desert Mayhem in December?
yes, I will. I will be in Mayhem. So you guys come check it out, check out the car, and maybe get some ride-alongs and stuff. So.